Oh, I think I'm live. Looks like it's setting up for that. So, okay, here we go. Welcome. I decided I was going to go live today because I think there's part of me that needs to tell a story here. And you're happen to be the audience that I'm going to tell my story to date. Um, this is a story about me and my struggles, and my struggle was very real for me. I really struggled with getting out of bed in the morning. I struggled with sleep big time. I was a diagnosed insomniac for 8 years, tried different medications and different things with my doctors. And one day I was invited to a doTERRA class. And it was a really good friend of mine who had been inviting me to doTERRA classes for probably 3 or 4 months. And love her, love her. But I kept declining. And finally, I was introduced and asked to come to a class with a different friend. And I finally said yes because I thought, okay, I knew what this friend was struggling with, and she was struggling with some really heavy stuff. And I thought, you know what? If she wants to go out, we'll go out. Not even thinking about my own deep struggles myself, but I knew this other friend was really struggling, and I thought I'll go out with her because I know she's struggling. I know she needs a friend. So we went to this class and we made a deal that we were going to leave our purses in the car. We were just because I didn't need one more thing in my life. And so we went into this class, we learned, and as soon as they started sending around these beautiful brown bottles of essential oils, um, I smelled my first oil and I was hooked right that second. I wanted nothing more than to just smell it all the time. And I know that probably sounds a little weird to some people. If you're if you're like, what in the world? Why is that just sounds bizarre. But for me, it was real. And for me, I just knew I needed more of this oil. Yeah, but I wanted to learn some more because I wasn't really sure how to use essential oils, what to use them for, what they were good for. I mean, I was at this class, I was listening, but I wanted more information. So um, I bought a book that night. Didn't buy any oils, didn't buy anything else. I just bought a book and I started looking at the book. And my friend who had in, asked me to come, invited me um, for our mutual friends class. She was signing up to host a class at her house the following week. And I was like, this will give me some time to read this book and look it over and try to see what I think about all of this. So I did. I bought the book, I read the book. I specifically looked up um, insomnia to see what the book suggested for insomnia. And I saw it and I was like, it can't be that easy. So fast forward to a week later, my first my second class that I went to at my friend's house, she was really interested in metabolic health. And so that's what she wanted her class to be about. Not something I knew I needed it, but not something that was like piquing my interest at that moment because I was more about wanting to sleep without feeling groggy in the morning, without feeling gosh, like I was missing half my life because I was so tired. And if I took the prescribed medications for sleep, I would sleep half the day away. I was a mom of four young kids at the time. My youngest was in kindergarten at the time. So like I was busy. I had four kids and like life was happening. And I knew I needed to do something different. You know, have you ever felt that? Have you ever felt that need to do something different in your life? So I did. And when I went to this class, I ordered a bunch of stuff. And one of the things I ordered were the things that the book had suggested. And so I did. And I thought, okay. And they came in the mail a week later or something like that. And I decided to put these little concoctions together and I followed the book's directions. And I was like, okay. And I went to sleep and I slept that night for the first time. in forever, like without needing anything, any of the prescriptions I had. And I was like, okay, placebo effect, right? And night after night, it worked. And morning after morning, I was waking up and I had energy that I hadn't had in a long time. And my husband was noticing. He was noticing big time because before I would send my kids off to school. I would take them to school. I would drive them, do whatever. I came back home and I would climb back into bed and try to sleep. And that was my life for years. And I just knew that these things were going to revolutionize my sleep. I had no idea at that moment how much they'd revolutionize the rest of my life, or how much my life would change, or how much I would become somebody totally different in a good way. Because I had no idea what personal development was. I was grasping at straws just to keep my head above water. Have you ever felt that way? Where you're just like trying to keep your head above water. And I know I'm like, need to do more with my life, but I couldn't function. I had no idea at that time that insomnia, because nobody talked about this with me. My doctors didn't talk about this with me. My insomnia was probably a very big sign of depression, and I had no idea. I had no clue. I just thought I didn't sleep and that was my problem. That if I could just get a good night's sleep, I would be fine. But it wasn't just that. It wasn't just my sleep. It was so much more. But I didn't know that. And my doctors didn't even like talk to me about my emotions. They didn't talk to me about how I was feeling. And probably had they even talked to me, I probably would have been like, I'm just tired. I'm just so tired. And I had no idea. I had no idea. My hormones were probably a mess too. I just didn't know. I wasn't educated. I didn't know better. There wasn't great podcasts at that time. There wasn't great information. I mean, YouTube videos maybe, but like it really wasn't well talked about at that time. And we're talking 16-ish years ago. And it was just different. It was just different. And now I'm so grateful. I am so incredibly grateful that I don't have those sleep issues anymore, that I know how to manage my emotions so much better. And I've learned so much over the last 15 years of what to do and how to use essential oils, not just for my physical well-being, but for my emotional well-being, which is like what I get really passionate about is helping other people learn to manage their emotions. I've learned how to coach people. I've learned so much through my own struggle, and my struggle was very real. So, if this is speaking to you at all, if you've ever felt some of the things I have felt, please go ahead and comment me too, or a one or a three or whatever. Like, comment something so I know that I wasn't completely alone in feeling this way. I know that there's other people who struggle with some of these same things. And I knew at that moment, after using those oils to help me with my sleep and then to start using them for my emotional issues, I was like, there is such a beautiful life out there. But if you're struggling too, just say me too in the comments. And I know that I personally am aware of how hard it is, how you feel trying to get out of bed, trying to get things done, trying to do things, just simplest little tasks around your house, even the simplest things at work, and trying to focus at work when all you want to do is crawl back into bed. I understand. And thanks for being here with for this, few minutes with me tonight. And if this spoke to you, just put me too in the comments. And I would love to hear from you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night and day. And